welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be a talking head. It's just going to be me talking without me actually playing any games. There will be some gameplay going on over here that you guys can watch if you do not want to watch my face. Or you could just minimize the browser or have it running in the background, whatever you feel like doing. It's fine by me. Today I will be talking about some of the things that has been going on, be coming with some explanation of the past 7 months. I'll be talking about Courseplay. I'll be talking about Farming Simulator 19, and I'll be talking about the map that I'm making, and I'll be getting into a lot of different things. So it's going to be a lengthy video of me talking. To start with the beginning, I've been away for 7 months from YouTube, from the YouTube environment, from social media in general. I've just been absent and have not participated in anything on social media for 7 months. And 7 months is a long time to be away. And most people that are away from the YouTube environment or the social media environment for 7 months do not come back. And for a long time, I actually thought I wouldn't. But of course, there's a reason for all of this. There's a bloody good reason for why I've been away for so long. It's a very personal thing, and I think this is the 5th take on this video because it's actually quite difficult for me to get into. And I'm not even sure that you guys need to hear this, but I think I might need to get it off my chest. So let's just dive into it. For a period of about 5 or 6 years, I've been having severe depression. It's not been diagnosed, but it is what you could refer to as severe depression. And it's been very hard on me. It's had some consequences in my life that I had not foreseen. I started a couple of years ago, I started to comfort eat, and I started to gain weight. I've always been this skinny guy, always been athletic to look at. Always had I've not been like completely a stick in the wind, you know. I have had a little bit of a body, not in any way. It's been an athletic looking body. I have become fat. I'm a big guy now. And I'm not particularly proud of that, and I'm not particularly happy about that either. But it has been a consequence of what has happened in my life for the past 5 or 6 years. I've just been seeking comfort in food. Unhealthy food, sadly. But yeah. Anyway, that has happened, and it's something that I'm aware of, and it's something that I am looking to change. My cat just woke up. He's going to get something to eat. Another thing that has happened has been relationship. For some reason, I am not really, I'm not good at relationships. I can't seem to make it work. And currently, I'm not seeing anyone. Currently, I'm not in a place where I want to see anyone. I am not having the best of experiences when it comes to relationships, and in particularly lately, it's been affecting me a lot more than I wanted to admit. Really, I'm quite an emotional guy, and it hits me quite hard when stuff like relationship doesn't work out. And I have had something that I needed to work with a bit there. So that has affected me as well. Next thing is my job. I have had my job for about 8 years. I've been so proud of my work as an IT supporter in the Danish healthcare system. I've been really, really proud of it. And I have been learning a lot. I've been putting my mark on some of the systems that are currently being used in the Danish healthcare system. And I'm really proud of that. I'm happy about it. And I've learned so many things. I've grown as a person and really tried a lot of things. A couple of years ago, I got a new boss, and that didn't really make things good for me. it became a very stressful environment to work in, and it became I'm reluctant to say hostile environment, but it didn't really feel good to be there. So for a period of 4 months continuously, my life consisted of getting up in the morning and going to work, coming home in the afternoon, absolutely exhausted, and just, sitting on the sofa, turning on the television and falling asleep almost instantly. Waking up at around midnight, getting up for about 20 minutes, just staring into thin air with a glass of water or anything like that, and then going to bed, where I slept until the next morning. I had to go to work. For 4 months, that was my life. And as you can imagine, that is not a healthy environment for anyone. And my life started to suffer from it. I started to suffer on the social aspect of life. I started to say no to arrangements and social stuff, because I was too tired. I was too exhausted. I got into a rhythm of self-pityness, I suppose. And it was really a bad environment for me to be in. And it was during this period as well that my YouTube kind of came to a halt. I just simply hadn't had any energy to upload anything or record anything, let alone. So something had to give. Something had to change. If I kept this up, I was going to end up dead. So I had to do something. And about a month ago, I got fired from my job. So currently I'm unemployed. And it wasn't a particularly pleasant experience. We didn't have good terms. That bridge has been thoroughly burned. No one is going to cross that bridge again. But it's okay. It's I think with looking in hindsight, with the knowledge that I have today, and seeing how that environment was influencing me, maybe I think it's for the better that bridge has been burned. I do not want to get back to that. But it also means that for a month now, I haven't had any job. I have been spending my time trying to mend my soul, my spirit, my mind. I've stayed at home a lot, and I've slept a lot. I had never, if anyone would have told me this 3 years ago, I never would have believed that a human being could sleep that much. But Jesus Christ, I've slept a lot. And I have tried to work with myself, getting back into a more positive state of mind. I hope it worked. I'm not kidding myself in any way. I don't for a second believe that a month of sleep and staying at home is going to cure you if you are depressed or stressed or in any other way are feeling down. That's not the solution. But for me, it has helped me overcome a lot of negativity in my head. I feel more uplifted now. I feel like I have more energy to face whatever the world has to throw at me. And I feel I have energy to do these things again. Record videos and talk with you guys and interact with the community just in general. And a couple of days ago, I uploaded a video where I showed you how to download and install Courseplay for Farming Simulator 19. Just skipping subject here, I'm just going into the Courseplay subject. Initially, I didn't really want to make that video. My initial thought was that Courseplay at the time was far too buggy to show you how to download and install it. That came from a perspective where I kind of didn't want to show, I didn't want you guys to have a bad experience with Courseplay because of me or because of a video that I made. And I was kind of being selfish about that. Until it actually really occurred to me that hang on a second, these Courseplay developers are working their flipping butts off to give us a product, and they have put it into open beta for us to test it and to come with our feedback. And if I can in any way be a part of having more people giving them feedback to make a better product for us, of course I should do it. So I decided to make that video on how to download and install Courseplay for Farming Simulator 19. And my video was out there a bit later than a lot of the other YouTubers that are making Courseplay tutorial videos. And this is where my video probably is going to be a bit controversial now, because I'm going to have a bit of a go at these other YouTubers that are making how-to videos on Courseplay. I'm just preparing myself with a cup of coffee first. It's good coffee. If you want to make a how-to video on anything, my thought about that is you shouldn't make that how-to video for yourself. You should make that how-to video for helping other people. Did that make any sense? I don't think it did. I feel like what we've seen is people YouTubers trying to get their video out as the first one. They've been trying to hunt views and likes and subscribers on the expense of a product that wasn't really ready for release, or that wasn't really ready for this yet. I'm a bit torn about it because I want you guys to experience Courseplay. And if you're new to Farming Simulator, how on earth are you going to experience Courseplay if you don't know how to use it? I see that. But at the same time, I tried to record a how-to video on Courseplay. And the video was about 20-25 minutes long, and it took me about an hour to record it. And then it took me about another hour and a half to edit the video and render it. And then uploading it to YouTube, and YouTube doing their rendering and so on. That took about, well, I think from I started recording the video to it was ready for you guys to watch it on YouTube, would have taken about 4 hours. And within those 4 hours, we've already seen 2 more updates to Courseplay. In a time span of 24 hours, we saw 12 updates to Courseplay. A video that is being made and being outdated even before it's released is not a helpful video in my mind. And I feel like that is what we have seen from some of these other YouTubers that have made these how-to videos. I am not against other people making how-to videos. And as a matter of fact, the more people that make it, the better. Courseplay is a brilliant product, and I want more people to use it because it is just a flipping good product. I just feel like these guys are not they're not helping anyone having a better experience, because if they make a video that is outdated by the time it's released, who's really benefiting from it? Now, I've seen their user or their subscriber count pretty much explode, and I've seen the amount of views that these videos get, and good on them. But I feel that's the wrong reason to do it. If you want to make how-to videos, make them to help people, not to gain views or subscribers yourself. It's just my opinion, and I think that will be the end of the controversial thing. Well, maybe we might get into some other things. Anyway, let's move on. I will, of course, be making how-to videos on Courseplay for Farming Simulator 19, and I will, of course, be making a lot more videos for you guys, no doubt about that, but all in good time. Let's move on to Farming Simulator 19, which is something that I think a lot of us have seen, has been expecting, or has been looking forward to for a long time. I think when we saw Farming Simulator 19 released, I think I was one of the persons that was heavily disappointed. My God, I was disappointed. I think we saw a half-finished product. I genuinely think that what we saw on release date was only a beta version of the game. And I think Giants have, I don't know if they've cut corners. I think that's probably a wrong statement, but I do believe that Giants has had their focus on other things rather than making a good game for us. Now, I've been playing Farming Simulator ever since it came out. I've been playing the first Farming Simulator, and I've been playing every single one of them ever since. And I think, for me, the best Farming Simulator game so far has been probably 15, and 17 as a really close second. But I think in 17 we started seeing that Farming Simulator was becoming a more arcade kind of game. I think we saw the game shifting from being a sim game. It's never really been a proper sim game, but it's been more towards the enthusiast than it has been towards the arcade player. But I think in 17 we saw the shift from being for the enthusiast to the arcade player. And I think in 19, excuse me, I think in 19 we have seen that shift completely. I think we have seen that because, well, if we take a look at modding for 17 and modding for 19, those are day and night, at least for map making. In 19, we're seeing modding surrounded, or modding being focused a lot more about these placeables that were introduced in 17. And I get it. I understand it. I get why this is happening. I get why we're seeing this system being favorized. The placeable system makes it easier for consoles, or for getting the game out on console. It makes it a better game for console players. And it just opens up a brand new market. Not a brand new. It opens up a wider market for Farming Simulator, for the brand, and for Giants, of course. And a brand, not a brand new, a wider market means more money, obviously. And I think, sadly, that is what we see with Farming Simulator. I think us that has been with Farming Simulator for a long time and has been very enthusiastic about it and has liked the idea of this being a sim, I think we are going to have to shift our minds over to this game being more suited for the casual player. And that's fine. Casual players are welcome. Casual players are of course welcome, because their money, when they buy the game, their money is helping everyone else get a Farming Simulator 21 when we see that comes out. And hopefully a lot of the things that we see developed for 21 will come as a result of this game being open for a wider audience. I hope so. What I also think here, and this is one of the traps that a lot of companies are falling into, what I think we will see, I don't know, I fear it. I fear we will see this placeable system being a gateway to monetization, to having placeables that you can buy. I see how it can be used for that. The option of using the placeable system for putting in monetization in your game is definitely there. And I really fear that Giants would take that step. The reason that I fear this is because of some of the things that we've seen lately. We've seen Giants talk about, or we've seen the Giants announcing the esports series for Farming Simulator. And I noticed something straight away. I noticed straight away that two of the sponsors for this series was Intel and Logitech. These two companies are huge. They're massive. And 250,000 euros is a lot of money to put into an esport league, at least for a small game like Farming Simulator. So why would Intel and Logitech go into sponsoring this? Well, of course, because they see money in this. So are we? This is tinfoil hat now. I should be wearing a tinfoil hat. I'm making up conspiracy theories, and I'm sorry about that. But are we actually seeing here a company that is now having to put in monetization in their game in order to make some money to attract these massive sponsors like Intel and Logitech? Because I don't for a second believe that neither Intel or Logitech are doing this because they just having a good day. They're doing this because they can see something in this. When I say something, I mean money. I don't know. I fear we're seeing this, and I fear that my fears are being backed a little bit by what we saw on launch day for Farming Simulator. I mean, we saw a game that was buggy. It was filled with bugs on the day it came out, and I kept a track on the forums. I kind of followed along on a lot of different forums and kind of just saw what was going on. And I saw people talking about how this was bad and how this was a game that was at best in a beta version. And I genuinely agree on that. I also saw people on the other side of the fence, people that were defending Giants and Farming Simulator and saying, well, this is the first day and you will expect bugs, and we haven't even had patch 1 yet, and don't be so hard on them, and bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. Are we really in a state right now, us as a gamer, you and me, us that plays the game, are we actually in a state right now where we are expecting games to be released with bugs? Is that where we are? Have we come to that point where we just blatantly accept that a game is faulty by default? I mean, we see Bethesda releasing Fallout 76, a game that is, well, I'm not even going to get into that discussion. We see Activision Blizzard with Battle for Azeroth. I cancel my WoW subscription again because that is just waste of time. We see EA Games. I mean, I'm sorry to compare Giants to these garbage companies. I really am. But are we actually there where we just expect this as default? And we just accept it as default? I mean, it's the equivalent of going down to a car dealership and buying a new car, but you can't buy it or you can't drive it out of the dealership because, well, it has to go onto a lift first. It has to go into the garage and get fixed. It needs a patch. No one does that. Why are we accepting this in games? We shouldn't. But the fact that Farming Simulator 19 came out buggy, as it did, and the fact that we are still seeing errors that shouldn't really be there. We are seeing an error on, is it preferred mods or something? I can't remember, but we're seeing an error that is just down to poor coding. And I'm sorry, Giants developers, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but it's just how we see it. And if you are opening up your game to a broader audience, you need to get your shit right. I feel like we're being pushed over too easy now. I feel like us, the community, the gamers, us that buys the game, I feel like we need to say, no, we're not going to pre-order your game if that means that your game is filled with bugs on the first day of release. That shouldn't be the case. It should be working from day one. I get it. Errors can be there, and there can be times where you need to patch the game. That's fair enough. But we shouldn't be expecting a patch on day one in order to just play the game. That's ridiculous. There you go. Right. Sorry. This video is becoming far too long already. Let me just quick say that I look forward to my map coming out on Farming Simulator 19. I do look forward to that. And the map, the interest the map is getting is beyond me. I have websites that want to make deals with me on exclusively hosting the map for release, and I have a lot of people asking if they can be beta testers and stuff like that. And it's brilliant. The interest in the map is amazing, and thank you all. The map will be released when it's done. I think that's the best I can do right now. I'm waiting for some scripts to be released. In 17, we had a script called Fabric Script that would make all of the factory work. Like you could produce pellets and all sorts of things. You could do a lot of things with this Fabric Script. It's not going to be released for 19. Instead, we'll see a script called Global Company that can do pretty much the same as Fabric Script. It's just better coded, and it's not as resource intensive as Fabric Script was. So hopefully that will help us make better maps. On that subject, by the way, when the map comes out, I will expect it to be for mid-range computers to high-end computers. I don't expect this map to be playable on low-end computers. There's not a lot I can do about that. The map is a 4x map, so it's 4x original size. There's a lot of details on the map, and there's a lot of buildings, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of roads, a lot of fauna, there's a lot of everything, forest, everything. So if I were to make a map that would be playable on low-end computers as well, and it would be that big, it would just be a bare map, and I do not want to make that. So it will be mid-range to high-end computers that can pull this map off. With that being said, my computer, I know I have a beefy computer, and you can see the specs on my computer on the About tab in YouTube. With my computer, I can pull off a solid 50 to 60 FPS with everything, and I mean everything, cranked to absolutely max. And we're talking about 200% density on crops. We're talking about 400% extra, the tracks, all of that. So I will expect this map on normal quality to be playable on mid-end to high-end computers. It'll come out when it's done. Keep an eye out on my Twitter page. I am updating regularly there. Or just write me, and I will hopefully be able to answer all of you. Right. That was a long video, nearly 30 minutes of this talking head. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you can use this information, and I hope it would explain a little bit about what has been going on in my life and why things are as they are. Anyway, I don't know. If you like this video, that'd be great if you could leave a like there. If you are new here, you might consider subscribing. I know that I can sometimes be a grumpy old man, but from time to time, fun things happen here as well. So who knows, you might like it here. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for your comments and your feedback on my videos. I really appreciate it, and I hope we'll see a 2019 that is far better than what 2018 presented, at least for me. So like this video, and I shall see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.